guys, it's Kat, and I'm about to do the Draw My Life video. Sorry, not sorry about the quality, it'll get better. Or not. So, I was born on the 8th of the 8th, 1989, which some old Chinese herbalist guy told me was lucky, which is bull because this week my car got rear-ended. But I'm born in August, which means I'm a Leo. Date me. When I was little, in my family, there was my dad, who works with me now and also is not naked, and my mum, who's a teacher's assistant and does not have bangs like that. Sorry, Mum. And they had me after my mum took copious amounts of fertility drugs. And then a year later, my brother Alex showed up after my parents clearly made a pact with the devil. We also have a family dog called Max. He's actually always called Max, as being 3, and he's always a border collie. I'm clearly having trouble drawing him here. That was Max number 1, who died. Then we had Max number 2, who also died. Now we're on to Max number 3, who seems to be the most interesting, but also the most stupid. I was fortunate enough to be born in Australia. I'll try and draw a map here. This is Western Australia. Let's see if I can be bothered to draw the whole thing. Nope, there we go. Oh look, I'm gonna try and finish it. Definitely not Australia. That's supposed to be Tasmania. And I was born on the west side and surrounded by water, clearly there. And in Perth, which is the capital. Then we moved to Mount Barker for 2 years, which was pretty cool. Then after that, we moved to Esperance for another 2 years before moving back to Perth, which is where all our family is anyway. Then Australia disappeared because of a pact with Satan. So by the time we moved back, I was about 8 years old and everything was G. And I was ready to go and start my first primary school in Perth. That's my school. And the only sport I really did was ice skating, and yeah, that's pretty much all the sport I did. Which involves wearing ridiculous outfits and being freezing every Sunday morning, but you know, I loved it. So then 2 years on, I was 10 and looked exactly the same. I pretty much stopped growing then, but I changed to go to St. Stephen's, which was a private school. It was a really big deal and I had to leave all my friends, and I was really upset about it, but I made some new friends there, actually lifelong friends. It was pretty awesome. And that was a big year for me because also my parents had my sister. Her name's Olivia and she's pretty much the most awesome thing. She's been in a couple of videos. There's about 10 years between us. How we found out that my parents were gonna have another baby, they didn't actually tell us. But one night they were having a discussion. We were supposed to be in bed, but for Christmas they made the biggest mistake because they gave me and my brother a spy kit, and it had this little antenna things that you could like listen into, and we used to sneak out of bed and just like listen to their conversations because it was super weird like that. And we heard them and found out that she was pregnant. So fast forwarding a couple of years, not much happened. We had a friend over once and we realised that we could throw things over the fence, and we actually threw a water bomb over the fence and it hit the people's house and they got really mad, but we made best friends with them. We used to jump over the fence all the time. So myself and the eldest girl, her name's Rhiannon, ever since then we were just best friends. We liked all the same stuff. We would watch Charmed and Buffy, and we'd lay on the trampoline and just stargaze for hours. It was pretty much the most awesome thing. When we were in high school, Rhiannon got me my first job, which was at Chicken Treat, which is a fast food chicken restaurant here in WA. And it's where most people begin, fast food, and it wasn't the best job, but much to serve customers, and this is the logo, it's not an angry duck. And it really gave me a lot of confidence, because before I was like super shy and I didn't even want to ring people up on the phone, and forcing me to serve customers was a good way to fix that. So fast forwarding again, I finished school and I graduated in 12, and I was pretty stoked that year because I also got a cat. I convinced my parents, and I got her when she was just a baby, and I called her Willow, and I was so excited because I was like, yes, this is mine. And then she turned out to be evil and she hates me. But it was probably worse not picking her up all the time, because I found out that I'm actually really allergic to cats and actually most animals. It just stuffs my nose up and makes me itchy, and then I get really bad asthma and I can't breathe. My life sucks. But it was around this time that I actually met my first girlfriend, who is my only girlfriend. And before we dated, we were actually really good friends, and I was like, why do I want to hang out with this girl like all the time? What is her deal? And it wasn't until then when I started questioning my sexuality and being like, what, girls, am I gay, what? And then I kind of just accepted it, I guess, and it was all good. So then after I realised that I'm like the biggest homo ever, I had to tell my parents, and they had cracked on pretty fast. They were on it like Donkey Kong. So about a week later, I was going to bed at my parents' house. Actually, I was staying over, and I had a chat with my mom and just told her everything that was going on, and she told my dad, and yeah, they were pretty awesome about it actually. I'm just really blessed to have the best parents that just like accept me for who I am. And then it was actually through my girlfriend, who was best friends with her at the time, that I met Vicki. And we just were friends straight away, and we'd just go see movies all the time and hang out heaps at her parents' house. So when I was 19, I actually moved out of home for the first time, and it was just because I wanted a bit of independence. So I moved in with Rhiannon and another girl, but it didn't really end very well, ended in fights. So then, after that, me, my girlfriend and Vicki decided we would all move in together, and we moved into an apartment, and it was really cool there. I really enjoyed living in the apartment. But me and Vicki soon found out that we can't live together, and it didn't really work out, and she ended up moving out. And we stayed there for a couple of years, but it was really sad without her. But we ended up moving into a new place, which is kind of where my life starts off now. And I started working for the unknown postal service that I currently work for now, where I met some really awesome people and quite a few weirdos, but I enjoy the job. And this is around the same time that my brother decided that he wanted to be in the Air Force, and he did all the hard work, and this is supposed to be a plane. I don't even know. Not a shark. I can't talk planes. Air Force. Then one day, me and Vicki were just hanging out, probably watching movies or something, and we decided that with Vicki's awesome media skills that she learns from TAFE, we should start making YouTube videos. Like, why not? And we had watched plenty of YouTube already, and we had our favourites, of course. I think people we mostly watched, I still watch plenty of Daily Grace, who is my favourite, Jenna Marbles, Community Channel with Nat, Rose Dix, who's relatively new, Hannah Hart from My Hardo, and Mary Hart from White Dad. The other thing that I was really interested in that was kind of taking over my life was making cakes. I was really into cake decorating. And this all started when, for my birthday one year, my girlfriend bought me a cake decorating book from Planet Cake. And I was just looking through the pictures and I was like, I can totally make that. And so I just started experimenting with them, and possibly it's something that I'd like to do in my future. speaking of said future, the things that I'm most looking forward to is saving up for a nice house and, if it's legal at the time, getting married to my girlfriend and just being financially stable, I guess. I'd love to be married with a house and dog and possibly a cake business and kids. I don't know, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't know. She's gonna kill me when she says this. But I think all these things, in the end, I will be happy. Because I am already. I'm just pretty easygoing, I guess. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you stuck through to the end, you did very well. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll love you to the day we die. And Vicki hopefully will not kill a puppy. So until next time, bye!